The Manchester Select Board formally accepted a scoping study on a proposed 3-mile-long recreational pathway running from Riley Rink to the North Road at its regular meeting on Tuesday, November 12th, setting the stage for further discussions and a probable public vote during March town meeting, which will determine whether or not to actually go forward with and build the long-delayed biking, jogging, and walking trail. The acceptance of the study was basically a procedural formality and will not by itself determine whether or not the trail would be built. The scoping study, designed to flesh out what features should be in place, such as the type of trail service that should be used, was the subject of several earlier meetings at the Park House at the town's recreation park, where the project was dissected and gave members of the public opportunities to weigh in. Several of the immediate neighboring landowners showed up for them and were often leery about the prospects of turning a former and long unused railroad line into a walking or biking trail that would bring more people alongside their backyards. Dan Peck of VHB, a consulting and civil engineering firm which has been working with the town to develop a design for the possible trail, reviewed the background of the project with the Select Board on Tuesday night. It began almost 20 years ago with a feasibility study that identified the corridor as a possible location for the trail, and through the purchase of the former rail line that formed part of the proposed trail by a group of local citizens. He then walked the Select Board and the audience through the study the consultants have been working on. The route crosses 3 streams that will require small bridges to be constructed for the pathway, which would be surfaced and screened off in places. Cost estimates for the trail have come in at around $1.5 million, with 80% of that coming from state or federal funds, which have yet to be secured. The remaining 20% would require local funding, which would likely be a combination of public revenues and private donations. Afterwards, Robin Werner, one of the group of residents who have been advocating for the rail trail for several years, gave us his takeaway from the meeting.
Yes, the scoping study has taken quite a few months, and they've examined all kinds of things. It's been open to the public to make comments, suggestions, and so forth, and it's been wrapped up. What kind of a surface is going to be on the trail? They've selected a SharePack surface. What kind of bridges we're going to use, or they are going to use, has been selected. They're going to be what's called a girder bridge. I haven't decided exactly what kind of a surface will be on it. So those are all positive things. The study was completed, and the people that VHB that did the study concluded that there is a lot of support in the town for this project, and it's moving forward. Well, the trail can be used now, but of course it's not. You would walk it at your own risk, because it's still privately owned. But I believe the format would be to do the trail in 2 or 3 sections. So years ago, it wasn't uncommon to get a larger amount of money to complete the project in one shot. But the way it's being done now is they make an agreement that you're going to get the money, but they give it to you in 2 or 3 installments. So you do part of the project and one of the bridges, and part of the project, and so forth. So it's still going to be probably 2 or 3 years, I would assume.
The next step is likely to be a public vote at town meeting. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.